Hello, everyone, and welcome to intelliTALKS. Today I have a very special guest, my friend Jon Tilley from ZonGuru. Jon, welcome.
What's up, Marcel? Good to be here. Yeah, good to see you again.
Likewise. I'm happy to have Jon here. And Jon is a very, let's say, old friend from the industry. Not old in terms of the age, but very seasoned and experienced. So I'm very, eager to see whatever we can find out from his side, something like from the oven, maybe daily cooked on the ZonGuru platform. But all in all, Jon is the CEO of ZonGuru, so that's very well important to know everyone out here. And ZonGuru is a software toolset that helps e-commerce brands and agencies to scale their products and to get more visibility on the Amazon marketplace. So, Jon, maybe you can tell everyone a little bit about yourself and about ZonGuru, something to get everyone to understand.
Yeah, sure. I mean, thanks for that intro. We've been around since 2017 is when I founded the company. So we've been around for some time, navigating this awesome industry around Amazon and Amazon growth. And every year brings us challenges. And what I love about it is, it's an industry and a universe of entrepreneurs. So with challenges, we've all figured it out, and we grow and we get onto things better. So it's an awesome place to be. Obviously, we're a tech company focused on helping brands grow on Amazon through the various tools that we have. We have over 18 different tools, and we're connected to most Amazon marketplaces. And then we also help agencies as well, with helping their clients grow on Amazon. So a lot of agencies are using our tech to efficiently manage and grow brands across the various Amazon marketplaces. So that's us, in a nutshell. We have obviously tech that you can use. We also have, a subdivision, done for you service where brands can get us to help them with our tech and to grow on Amazon. And the theme, I guess, of 2024 is, it changes year to year, but I think this year it's very focused on, how do we, Amazon is a great channel, but it's got its pluses and minuses. Certainly, profitability is a challenge, especially with the new Amazon fees and the focus on PPC. And it's about how do you look at Amazon as a channel for your business, and more importantly, how do you focus on making as much profit as you can with the sales that you get. And I think that's one of the biggest themes of 2024 for sure so far.
Yeah, definitely. So two ways of getting sales on Amazon. The first one is the paid, the PPC one, and the second one is the organic one. Organic one is the, let's say, best one. You don't spend a lot of money on clicks, so advertising is close to zero. So but of course you need to get the organic positioning and the organic sales to join you. So I do have a question for Jon now that we're getting into, let's say, a little bit technical. Jon, for someone just starting to sell on Amazon, what would be the first steps they should take to just grow their sales? How do you see it from your experience?
Yeah, look, I mean, for any new sellers, I think some of the important points is to understand what you need to get perfectly right to launch, right? And typically that's obviously number one, it's your product choice and understanding. I think in today's world, it's as important as it's been before, but it's even, I would say it's probably more important in today's world, is understanding how you can differentiate your product from the competitor subset out there. So I think with the advent of AI and all the tools that we have, generally, you're competing against people that have pretty good listings. They've done a pretty good job. They have good imagery, etc. So, the standard level is much higher. And I think what that forces us to do as entrepreneurs is focus a lot more on our customer research, understanding our customer, the emotional, environment around the customer when they're buying your product, and how do you connect with them on that level. So I would say customer research is something you really have to focus on, and through that you will understand how to differentiate, how to connect better with customers. So that's very important to get right, I would say, in the build up to your launch. And then I would say in today's world, it's much more important to understand what does your first year look like on Amazon, right? It typically used to be like, hey, how do I get live? And once I'm live, great, I go through a launch process. But it's a much more formulaic process around, launch, the first month, the first 2, the first 3 months. What's your marketing strategy? What's your growth strategy over the first year? How much capital do I need? It's a lot less common nowadays that, at least within your first, 2, 3, 4 months that you're going to start making profit, right? There's typically, an investment into your launch and your marketing and everything before you really start to turn the corner and make more profit. So understanding what that life cycle is before you're going to start making profit, how much you need to invest, and being patient with that is critical. A lot of new brands will give up after the first couple of months if they're not seeing profit, when they have to understand that they have to invest. So that I think is an important point. How do you navigate once you live, investing in the right areas to get your growth going, and how much is that going to cost is a very important thing to understand these days.
All right, you nailed it there, because I just want to sum up what Jon said there. So making a very good product research, that's the key actually, to differentiate and try to come up with a good product on the market, not just one like another like other products. So not just copy another product. Then knowing your customer is key, because you know how to address your customer in terms of the customer persona. That's very important to address with your branding, with everything, to know that you're talking to that specific customer. And I would tend to say the third most important thing I got from what Jon said is mindset. A lot of new sellers are coming on the marketplace and thinking that they will, get that freedom they all deserve. But it's not coming so fast in terms of investment, time, money. From my experience, at least, it's taking some time to actually develop. And if I look at my business, my mindset grew my business. While I was growing my mindset, also my business was growing. It was not the other way around, to business to be high and just drag me there. So that not happened to me. I don't know, maybe other people are more like into this area, but at least this is how I felt it. But this is very important.
I mean, I would say if you're starting with your own capital, whether you're investing 25,000, 50,000, 150,000, I would say, based on that initial capital investment, if you're successful with your business, you're looking at probably on 2 years before you really are pulling enough profits to start paying yourself, right? And not investing in the business. So, understand that it's at least a 2-year investment. You could be doing $1 million a year, but you're still investing that money into growing that business versus taking profits yourself, right? So understand, that's a typical cycle for Amazon. The other thing that I would want to say, that is really important to understand as a new seller is, the mindset, again, of not just being a product that you sell on Amazon, but the opportunity to start and grow a proper e-commerce brand, right? And it's important to understand that if you're growing an e-commerce brand, Amazon might be one of your best channels, and it might be the first channel that you should start on, but it certainly shouldn't be your only channel, right? And it's a good concept to really think through when you're starting your Amazon journey, because you were talking about, hey, there's two kind of sales on Amazon. There's a paid sale, and there's an organic sale, and that's a sale. But I think one of the other things to really think about is what happens after the sale, right? And one of the crucial potential journeys of what can happen after the sale is that the customer buys your product on Amazon because it's a need-based product that they need to buy. But through that journey after the sale, you can get them to your Shopify website. They can interact with your other brands. They can buy one of your other brands off of Shopify. you know, they could download PDFs, they could become a brand evangelist, they could, you know, they could buy your product and then sign up for a subscription service for, you know, refills or whatever you're doing off of your website. So, you know, and through that whole journey, the LTV, the lifetime value of that customer grows, right? And so these are really important things to think about, you know, on your product choice. You know, I mean, if you can create a product on Amazon that is purely a needs-based product, but that you can get them to your website where they can sign up for a subscription service, the value of your business goes 10x, you know. So it's important, and you know, how much you're willing to pay for that lead magnet on Amazon through PPC might be a lot higher if the LTV is a lot higher, right? So we see that in the nutrition space, right? You know, the product costs $15 and people are paying $20 for a click. Are they doing that because they don't know anything about PPC, or they're doing it because they understand that the LTV is, you know, $100 and they're willing to pay $20 a click, right? So these are important things to really think about and envision when you're creating your Amazon business, because the opportunity is real that you can create a much bigger e-commerce brand than just simply a product that you sell on Amazon.
Yeah, that's perfectly said, John. So also in terms of what you just said, some people just invest money in PPC for that one click that brings them a sale, and that's it. They forget. They chase after the next one. So that's definitely food for thought for everyone that is in the industry and don't have a follow-up process after the initial sale. That's John, thank you for bringing that up.
Understand your lifetime value. I understand the lifetime value of your client, because if or your customer, because if you can understand that, it gives you a lot more savviness around how much are you willing to spend and invest on Amazon, right?
Yeah. All right. What are some simple tips that you can provide us in terms of finding more easily the products on Amazon, or getting my products, for example, more visibility on Amazon? How would you structure that, especially on the organic one, the organic part?
Yeah, I think going back to your point, right? There's two types of sales on Amazon. There's ones from PPC, which is Amazon's pay for play, and there's many different types of ads that you can use, whether it's on specific keywords or whether you're conquesting on other listings. There's every kind of ad that you can think of available on Amazon, because that Amazon wants you to pay for that click. And then the other one is organic, which is simply people are searching for certain keywords and you're ranking for those keywords, and you become visible and you get a sale. So those are the two types of sales. Clearly the organic one is going to be more profitable because you're not paying any money for that click. So you want to focus on how can you rank better organically. And the general strategy of ranking organically is understanding the universe of keywords, the localized keywords, the current keywords that customers are searching for, ensuring that you index for them, on Amazon, which essentially comes from prompting the algorithm with keywords that you have in your listing. They have semantic ways of ranking on those keywords, but you have to give the algorithm some direction, right? So ensuring you have the quality score for those keywords in your listing, and that you're getting a decent conversion rate on those keywords is important to ensure that you index and rank well for that. So that's the general way. But one way that is really important to think about as a seller is that think of paid sales, PPC, not as just a simply, hey, how do I pay for a sale? Yes, it eats into my margin, but I'm getting a sale from that. But thinking about PPC as a lever to drive your organic rank, right? And that's a really fundamental concept that I think a lot of brands and agencies don't think about enough, right? Which is like, how do I be proficient with my PPC sales? But more importantly, how do I use that as a big stick or a lever to improve my organic rank, right? And so what I mean by that is identifying certain keywords that you rank for on Amazon, but maybe aren't quite in the buy zone. When I say buy zone, it's position 1 to 25, right? On page 1. So you might be ranking in position 25 to 60 for certain keywords, but understanding which keywords those are, and then once you have that subset of keywords, ensuring that you have paid media that's driving to those keywords, right? So yes, you might get a sale from that keyword, but if that conversion rate for that keyword on the paid campaign is higher than your organic keyword conversion rates, it's going to help improve your organic conversion rate overall. Therefore, you're going to improve your rank and get more sales subsequently from the organic rank, right? So the biggest ways that you can move your organic rank on Amazon is PPC, pricing, and SEO. So, those are all three things that you can play with, but really understanding that PPC is one of the biggest ways to drive your organic rank and improve it is important. And the opposite, sometimes PPC, you might be getting sales from there, but if your conversion rate is less than your typical your organic conversion rate, you're hurting your rank. So every sale you get from there, yes, you're making you might be making money, but you're impacting your organic rank negatively. So those are keywords that you might want to negative match on and not actually have in PPC, right? So those are really critical things to understand around sales, but what is the impact that it all has on your organic rank over time?
No, that's very important. But if we look at ZonGuru as, let's say, the tool set that we have at our disposal, how can we, let's say, for someone like having like a 1-2 product brand, how can they best utilize ZonGuru into their brand to get more visibility and better results on the Amazon ecosystem? What would be your recommendation?
Yeah, I would say, we have 18 different tools, but our flagship tools are around, SEO for Amazon, right? And the typical tools that we use there is one, Keywords on Fire, which is a keyword intelligence tool. And I think the difference between our tool and some of the other software tools on the marketplace for keywords is we do a much better job of finding the localized, current, relevant keywords for your product. So if you're in Germany, and you compare our keyword set versus some of the competitors, you're going to see a lot more opportunities in our keyword set specifically related to the localized keywords that people are actually typing into Amazon, right? So it's a very powerful tool in really understanding not just what every competitor is trying to index for, but what are people actually typing into Amazon to find your product, right? So, Keywords on Fire is a very strong tool, and there's different views that you can use within that tool. We have a phrase that we've coined called contextual SEO, right? Which is, we don't want to just tell you, hey, what are the best keywords that you should be optimizing your listing for? But as importantly, how are your competitors ranking on those keywords? Where are they focused? Are they ranking well and everyone's fighting for those keywords? Or are actually they're not ranking on that and there's bigger opportunity and you can go for those keywords? And there's different ways to filter the data. For example, you can find all the opportunistic keywords that your main competitors don't rank for that are really relevant for the niche, right? And if you can find those, you can conquest those and rank better than any competitor. So that's one of the ways, to use as a baseline to, is to use Keywords on Fire to find the right keywords and to see where your competitors are strong and weak. And then the second tool is our listing optimization tool. We have a number of firsts there, but the main two firsts is we were the first to integrate AI. So, in the space, back in January of 2023, we launched the first AI tool in the space. And I think we're still most definitely the leaders when it comes to AI. So the goal of AI, and just to be clear, is not to replace us and the listings we create, but it's there to give you the best and fastest baseline on a listing that you can then get insights on and manipulate further to get the listing that you want for your store, right? So you can basically set the listing up and use AI, and you can generate a listing that's written really well for Amazon and for the algorithm in under a minute, and then you can manipulate it further, and then you can actually post it directly from our tool into Amazon, right? So that's a really good way. I think someone said the other day, one of the worst things for a content writer is to have a blank screen, right? So this thing gives you an amazing listing in under a minute that you can then use and manipulate further, right? And then the other piece we give you is, again, that context of your competitors. So what's really cool about our tool is you can compare it to any other listing that you want to, and you can get a score on that listing. So you can definitely be able to be able to check and say, hey, do I have the best score out of all of my competitors? And if not, how do I improve it so I can have the best listing on page one and have the best score? And you can do that with our tool. So, as a new seller and someone, even an existing seller who wants to maximize their organic potential on Amazon, you have to start with having the best potential listing on Amazon. If you don't have the best potential listing, everything else doesn't work. You can run PPC, you can do all these things, but if you don't have the best listing, you're not going to have the quality score, and you're not going to have the conversion that you need. So with our tools, you can guarantee that you have the best maximum potential for your listing, and then you can go ahead and focus on everything else after that.
Definitely. And I just want to add one more very important thing here. Jon is referring to the text part of the listing. Jon, is there anything you can do about the photos as well, or that's a different topic? But yeah, the text one is the most important one. That's where SEO is and indexing comes from. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think the Amazon algorithm is evolving, especially in 2024. And I think imagery and the ability for the algorithm to assess imagery is going to get more and more importance. Right now we just talk about kind of the HTML tags or the imagery tags within it. We have some future updates happening on that front in terms of guiding you around how to tag your imagery. But right now it's just purely content. It's not image focused. I would say in terms of AI and images, we're still a couple of years off before you can use AI to completely create an image that could be used on your storefront. What I would say is, certainly AI is used on the image side, can be used as a great way to brainstorm what kind of photography image, what kind of angles, what kind of benefit overlays we should be putting on the product, right? It's a very good input tool on that front, but not something that you should just execute and put into your listing for sure.
Yeah, in the near future, I'm sure that will happen. And also the other side of things is very important, because Amazon will leverage that into reading our images and understanding from the images what we're putting in there. So no more black hats and gray hats and anything that's against the TOS.
Exactly.
Yeah. Brilliant. Jon, one last question I would have for you. What would be some mistakes that you've seen people make when trying to sell on the Amazon marketplace, and how would you fix that, if you can think of any?
I guess one that comes to mind is some mistakes that sellers make is not leveraging all of the tools and programs that Amazon have inside of Seller Central, right? You constantly come across sellers and they're like, oh, there's a new program and yeah, they've invited me, or I don't think I should do it, or the Vine program, I haven't used that, or I'm not using Amazon posts, or I'm not doing X, Y, and Z. And the feedback I always, and the first question I ask why, and maybe they're like, well, it's a distraction, or there's a new ad format and I have to pay for that or whatever. The second thing I say is like, if Amazon's putting stuff out there, they want you to use it, but more importantly, they're going to reward you for using it, right? So, anything that Amazon puts out there, use it, and use it to your best ability, because Amazon's backend is going to say, hey, this is a brand that is using everything that we have out there, and that's a good use case for us and shows that people are using. So they're going to reward you and give you better ranking, better positions, etc. So a mistake is not to use all of the various different programs that are available to you on Amazon. So understand what they are and use them and maximize them, because the secondary benefit is Amazon's going to see you as a better fit for them on the platform and give you better visibility, right? So that's one that I think is worth mentioning. There's so many mistakes that people make. I think that the two, the one I would say is worth mentioning is, as a brand owner, you can't see often you can't see the forest from the trees, right? You know, whatever the saying is, you're so close to your brand, you're so close to everything that's going on that you don't truly, you miss a lot of things that you should be capturing. So getting outside counsel and opinion from your target audience on your brand, on what your storefront looks like, and assessments is a critical piece of your ever evolving evolution of your listing, your product, etc. Right? So make sure you have the ability to get fresh perspective from someone who's not close to your brand as to what's working, what's not working, and then adjust accordingly. Right? And you will find opportunities every second, every minute. You know, I still see, you know, I can do any search on Amazon and I can look at, you know, a big category, and I will still see people getting their main image incorrect. They're not doing what they should be doing versus other competitors. I will look at all of the images. I will see that they don't have dimensions on their, you know, one of their images. You know, it's just like these crucial, you know, silly mistakes that sellers make, because I can only assume they haven't really got outside. If someone was buying their product, looked at it and they're like, well, I don't know what the dimensions are here, you don't have it in your image, they're going to make that change, right? So that's an important piece of your journey.
Yeah, always check for that and see whatever you can change, because the only constant in life remains change. So that's a deep one.
Yeah, for sure.
Brilliant, Jon. I love this conversation. I just want to remind everyone that we have here the website. I'm going to put it here in on the screen, and also I'll be adding it into the description. And for everyone that's here with us, Jon, you have a small thing.
Yeah, you know, anybody here who's interested in getting us to analyze their business and run through a growth audit, it's free, and you can click on the link. It's down here in the show notes. And there's a qualification on that, right? And typically we're looking for brands that are established on Amazon that are looking for more organic growth potential. And we have a certain data-driven method that we run through on your portfolio, and we'll show you the difference between what you are organically doing on Amazon right now versus what you should actually be doing based on those keywords that are sitting outside of the buy zone. And then we show you a specific method of how you can get better ranking for those keywords and what that means to your business. So for example, you're doing 100,000 a month on this specific product, you know, the true potential is actually 175,000, and we'll show you how to get to 175,000. So it's a really cool, valuable growth audit that we do on your business. You have to qualify for that. And then, you know, the part of that method will be to showing you how you could potentially use our Done For You service, where we can actually help you grow and get those organic sales on Amazon. So, you know, check it out. There's a pricing analysis that we do in that as well. So a lot of value. Just click on the link, qualify, and then you can set up some time, and we'll connect your data and run through that audit for you.
Brilliant. Thank you for this, Jon. I truly admire what you're doing, and I'm sure there's a lot of value into this audit and a lot of work actually to put everything together. So yeah, for everyone, I will be adding this in the description as well, just to be clickable. Right now it's just visible, but yeah, we'll make it clickable. Lovely, Jon. I'm grateful for having you here today and for sharing with us and with everyone that's watching your insights. And I'm hoping to maybe capture in the future as well for more crazy talk, because I love the conversation and the insights. So thank you. And yeah.
Anytime, man. Thank you. Appreciate being on here today.
Thank you. And see you, everyone. Bye.